Hello everybody and welcome back to the Fortress of Solitude. Today we're going to be talking about Titans issue 31, written by John Layman with art and colours by Pete Woods and letters by Wes Abbott. The Titans are attacked on all fronts as Donna Troy remembers the very first time she ever uttered the words Titans together, knowing that it's more than just a battle cry though, it's a philosophy, one that told them that when the Titans were together, they could defeat any threat thrown at them. The Titans aren't all together now though, and are actually stretched pretty far and wide as we get a bit of a catch-up on where all the teams are, with Starfire being helped by Blackfire, Beast Boy dealing with strange aliens on a far-flung world, Nightwing and Raven battling Queen Jinx on Gemworld, and Cyborg fighting the Omega Tournament, although what the rest of the team don't know is since his battle with Swamp Thing and movement into the next round, Cyborg has been defeated, turned to stone by the Heart of Apocalypse. John Layman is doing the Lord's work here, going back through several plot lines he's been balancing and setting the stage for each of them and where they are, helping us readers take stock of it all and hit the ground running. Of all of the Titans' troubles, none are worse than Roy and Donna, who are still on Earth and are currently at the mercy of Grail and her parademons, who surround the heroes and demand they surrender. Despite what she knows about the battle cry Titans together, Donna can't help but feel that this isn't even enough of Earth left for their remaining Titans to save, but she and Arsenal won't ever give up. The heroes get ready for a battle as Grail reveals that the distress signal was just a trap so she could draw out the heroes and kill them, intent on presenting their heads as trophies to Darkseid when he finally arrives. The villain attacks and all Donna and Roy can do is dodge her energy blasts. Donna sees an opening and tackles Grail, who recognizes her as a fellow Amazon. And maybe in another life they could have been sisters, but instead she embraced the heritage of her father Darkseid and killed off any of her empathy and mercy that was left, finding those traits to be nothing but weakness. So I had hoped that Layman would dive into the whole Grail was part Amazon and pit her against Donna during this story, and so far he's not disappointed in that aspect. It's a cool matchup, especially after setting up Donna in the opening pages with the Titans together battle cry origin and what it means to her, as Grail is the complete opposite of that. She's very singular in she only really cares for herself and what she does for herself. Grail thinks that she should take Donna on as her ward in the new world that Darkseid has planned, but the Titan refuses, punching Grail hard into a building. Grail isn't hurt by the attack though, but notes that that was the hero's one and only chance of surrender, so the parademons attack. Over on Gemworld, Nightwing isn't faring much better with Jinx, who has since proclaimed herself as Queen of Gemworld. The villain reveals that she has siphoned off Amethyst and her Royal Mage's power, increasing her own by tenfold, so now Nightwing can't even touch her. As Nightwing keeps Jinx busy, Raven begrudgingly frees Terra from her prison, finding the woman isn't interested in helping the Titans at all. I said in my past reviews I quite liked the dynamic that was being set up between Raven and Terra. It was this kind of bitchy cattiness. Terra was very petty and antagonistic towards Raven. It was a cool, unique setup, and I was really hoping that would continue, but that kind of seems to have been dropped in favor of something a little bit more standard and tropey, since Raven tries to convince Terra to do some good and kind of be a hero for a change and be everything that Slade Wilson told her not to be, which is a little disappointing since it's the very obvious route, right? Do that with the villain and they eventually turn, maybe good for a little bit, then maybe back to villain. It's the, age-old story we've seen time and time again, even with a character like Terra. I did, however, really like Raven viewing Terra as a weapon that she can point and use, specifically wanting to use her against Jinx, and wants her to prove it by unleashing her on the Queen. Back on Earth, Roy and Donna become surrounded on all sides by the Parademon army. Roy thinks it's the best time now to talk about what's going on between him and Donna, finding if this really is going to be their last stand, then he's glad it's being spent with her. Grail is touched by the lovebirds, but finds it tragic too as she blasts Arsenal with her energy blast, taking him out of the battle. On Gemworld, Nightwing has also been defeated and Jinx gloats about it, finding it's for the best that he is going to die, considering what she has in store for the people of Gemworld, since she's not going to be a benevolent leader. Raven surprises Jinx and wraps her in her cloak, trapping the villain. The plan doesn't really last that long, as Jinx uses her overcharged magical abilities to blast the cloak apart, telling Raven that she has no chance against her, making Jinx now not only have kind of like a base magic, a very strong magic, but also paired with her own magical ability of probability and how she can manipulate it, makes her even stronger and makes her like a legitimate, like, big threat. If the book had time, which I don't think it will, since we're in the middle of a big event, but it would be cool to see a little arc unto itself exploring an all-powerful Jinx whose probability powers are heightened to like a universal level thanks to Gemworld's magic, and she starts changing the courses of universes with her abilities or something like that. Like, there's a story there that can be told that makes Jinx like a big proper villain, and I'd love to see something like that with the character. Jinx begins crushing Raven and Nightwing with her magical constructs, but Terra drops a golden fist on the supposed queen, knocking her out cold. Terra understands why Raven brought her to Gemworld now, knowing that she can control the minerals of the world through her geokinesis. In a rather shocking, well, not really that shocking twist, Terra reveals that she is only doing this for herself, since no matter what Raven said to her before, she knows the heroes will never trust her, so she's just turning on everyone and anything. Using her powers over the minerals, she seals Nightwing and Raven in the crystal, proclaiming herself as Queen Terra of Gemworld. So this was the really obvious route to go with the character, and I don't like that. I know, it's bound to happen, but I was really hoping for a twist on it where, maybe she does decide, what the hell, I'm going to be a hero for once and actually help out. But instead, she's just turned into a villain. I did like, though, that she's, not a villain who's decided, well, I'm a villain, so I'm going to have to team with the other villain of the book, Jinx. I like that she took Jinx out as well, because she's only in it for herself. I thought that was pretty cool. Really, because it's much like what Grail is doing, the complete opposite of what Donna was saying about the Titans all being together. When they're together, they're a strong unit, they're a team, they work well together, whereas none of these villains that they've been fighting through this issue have been working together. They've all been very separate entities and only in it for themselves, and that ultimately will be their downfall. So it's a nice little connection there. I see what John Layman is doing, even if he's doing a very tropey, very stock standard story. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Donna tries to help Roy out, but Grail presses her attack, blasting Donna and Roy again. Grail finds that Donna is still standing and goes on the attack again, but Donna tires of her games, taking the fight to the villain as she tells her that it's not obstinance that she is showing Grail, it's resolve and tenacity and courage to stand up to evil people like the villain. Grail had hoped that Donna would attack her, since during the assault, the parademons make off with Roy, and Grail gives Donna an ultimatum, telling her to either join her and submit to Darkseid and her will, or Arsenal will be killed. Titans issue 31 was a great reminder of how strong the team can be when they are together, even in smaller teams. I'm really liking the dynamic that John Layman is laying out here between all these smaller groups, and it helps keep the book really nice and balanced. You go from one story to another, but it never feels like the book is balancing too many plates. The DCKO ties in the book that I previously really liked take a back seat this issue, just because the team are dealing with a bunch of different smaller set pieces, but those set pieces are fantastic. I love the stuff in Gemworld. The stuff with Donna and Grail is great. I like the rivalry that is being built there by John Layman, and I'm really interested to see where he goes with that in the next issue. I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10.